Hi guys, today we're going to be making a flower. Today we're going to be making this flower. It's on a paper tube, which I've already done a video demonstration of how to make the tubes. It's stuck to the flower. The flower stuck to the tube in this version. Another version I've got exactly the same flower. It's this time glued to itself for different applications. You can stick it to a book folded vase or stick it to the stem to make it look more interesting. So I'll show you exactly how to make these. You can do them in any size. I think they look a bit better with 5 petals as opposed to 4. This one's got 4 petals, as you can see there. Another one slightly bigger, not much, 4 petals. And another one which is coloured red. I don't know if you can see that, it's coloured red. You can colour these as well. They're made out of book pages because I think they look quite rustic when they're made out of book pages. So let's crack on and I'll show you how to make these lovely flowers. You will need, as always, scissors, book pages cut into squares. You will need 5 of these for a big flower. The approximate dimensions of that are about 10 centimeters squared. So, but you can make them any size you like, as I explained with this flower earlier. It's just a case of trial and error. So we need several sheets of this paper, book pages. We're going to need a paper skewer, a paper straw. Going to need a skewer. Definitely going to need some glue, PVA glue. And also, to give them a nice finishing touch, I bought these in B&M stores. I just saw them on the end of an aisle. They were £1, I think they were, for a load of embellishments to go in the centre of the flowers, which I think are fantastic. So let's clear the decks. While I'm clearing the decks, I'll put a photo up of a typical book folded vase that I've done with these flowers in, so you can see. So to make the petals, it's 1 square per petal. So as you can see, there are 5 petals on this one. You can have 6, 4, 5, it's entirely up to you. But there are 5 petals on this one, so we're going to be using 5 squares. And what we're doing here is we're folding the square on its triangular axis in half. Like so. Just making sure that's nice and tight. Yeah. And then what we're doing is we're bringing the longest flat edge corners up to the top. And fold it down. And again on this one, we're bringing this one up to the top. And fold it down. Now we're going to let it open up. And these bits here that are coming down, that have just popped back up again, what we're going to do with those is we're just going to push on them and you'll see it naturally fold into 2. So we want to encourage that fold by pushing it down. So that the line in the centre of the bit we've just folded down pretty much runs parallel with, if you could imagine the square underneath, runs parallel with that. So that's basically what we're doing there. And we're going to do the same with this side as well. So we're going to bring it up to the middle and just push it down, and you'll see what it wants to do. There we go. That's nice. Now, if you look at the bits that we've just folded flat down, they've got a score line in the middle of them. You want to fold the outer edge here. Going to be folding that over on itself onto the other half, like so. And the same with this side as well. Bring it up and over and fold it down. So that's almost one petal done. What we're going to be doing now is gluing these two outer bits of triangles that we've just folded over together. So I'm going to get my glue out. Elmer's glue in B&M stores for $3.99. Just a little bead of glue running down the outside edge. Don't need to cover the whole lot because it does take. And just bring those two pieces together and just hold them there for a couple of seconds, just pushing it down the length of the outside edge there. But make sure on the opposite side you do not, that's absolute must not, fold that down. So you want to create like a curve on the outside edge here, and this is the edge that's folded together. So that's the edge you want to push down. You can push that right down to the bottom. That doesn't matter, but the opposite side, we do not want to squash that at all, because that gives the flower the nice rounded petal look that it's got. So that's glued together enough for me to move on. So now our last bit to do is to trim this bit here. Now these are the bits that are coming out of the middle of the folded page that we've got here. So we just want to trim those bits right off. So it's these bits just here we want to trim off, leaving the curved bit intact. We do not want to touch the curved bit. Now if I push that together, you'll see you've got three little petals inside the big petal. And we need to make, say 5 of these will do. You can, as I said, you can do 6, you can do 4, definitely can't do 3. So we'll do one more, so you get to see what it is exactly. And here's 3 more I made earlier. So if you wanted to glue them to the skewer so that you've got this effect just here, if you wanted that on a skewer, maybe you want to stick it in a folded book, or that's in the shape of a vase or something like that. It's entirely up to you. This is ideal to stick down the centre of the folded vase, and then have it protruding out, and then have some more flowers underneath it. As I said earlier, you can also just glue the petals together. By bringing the two edges that we glued together in the first place, bring them together with a bit of glue in between, and just stick them together really. So what we'll do, it can be a bit time consuming this bit, waiting for the glue to dry, because they do move about a bit. So you can only do like one or two of the petals at a time really. So what I do is I just do two like so, and just pinch together those edges of the two petals that we've now brought together. Just pinch them together and just leave that to dry. And I'll do the same with the other two that I've got here, leaving me with just one. So I'll just tiny bit of glue down the edge. Obviously, if you're gluing it to the paper straw, same principle, just glue it to the straw itself, like so. Bring the petals, as you're sticking them on, about 1/2 centimetre to 1 centimetre above the end of the straw. Otherwise you'll end up with the straw protruding out the top, which doesn't look right. But in this instance, we're gluing them to the petals themselves. So we're just going to bring them together like that. Elmer's glue is really good. It dries pretty quickly and has a nice bind on it, you know, within a few seconds of applying it and sticking your surfaces together. So it's really quite good. I'm finding that as I'm going. I've got a couple of bottles of this Elmer's glue, and I tend to use it for making the flowers when I'm doing sort of intricate work. And I just use cheap PVA glue, like for making the straws here out of paper. I just use cheap PVA glue that I've got. I seem to be getting everything I'm buying at the moment from B&M stores. It's there's lots of stuff in there. It's a really good shop. So that one's drying as well. Let's have a look. You know, really, you should leave them for a good few minutes to dry. I know what's going to happen is when I stick this one on there, it's all going to fall apart. But for the purposes of the demonstration, and you can all have a good laugh when it does, I really don't mind. I'm going to have a go. See if I can speed things up. So we stick that again. We're just going round and round in a circle. There we go. So if you look at that now, it's starting to take shape. And then with these last two pieces here that we've got to stick in, it's really going to look quite good when it's done. So let's try our luck. I'm feeling brave. Let's. It's been good so far. So a fair amount of glue in the middle there, because we're gluing two stems together. So you want to sort of stick it to both sides of the petals as well. And this is where it all goes wrong. Might have to just hold that in place for a minute. Prop it up with the scissors. That's a good idea. Yeah, so there we go. Give that a couple of minutes to dry. While it's drying, This was fantastic buy, as I said, from B&M stores. It's got bigger beads or gems on it, and it drops right down to medium size, and then you've got smaller ones, and you've got about 10 to 15 of each size in green, looks like an orangey yellow, like a peachy colour, and pink as well. I went into Hobbycraft and bought a smaller version of this, just crystal clear ones, you know, the Diamantes, if you want to call them that. And it cost me about £3 for about half this amount, so I was really chuffed when I saw this in B&M stores. So we're going to pick a colour. Let's go pink. We just peel it off and we stick it dead centre of our flower. And there we have a beautiful handmade flower. Now, if you look carefully at the picture I'm about to put up, it's one of the vases I've done. You can see the flowers in it and how effective it looks. The book folding, I'll show you how to make a vase in one of my future videos, not too far away. I hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe. And if you've got any comments, please leave them behind. And I really appreciate your time for watching the video. Thank you.